What's up, savages? Terrence Popp here with another episode that actually is live from the Lair. All right, now this is open to this is basically open to everyone, not just the supporters. This is the worst part of the year for a lot of the dudes out there, and sitting around by yourself at home, dwelling on in regards to the craziness that's taking place in the real world and your isolation, loneliness, what have you. I get it. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt, played the concert. It is what it is. Now we're going to be covering a bunch of Army stories today, and just so you guys know a little bit about my history. I was assigned to the 2nd Ranger Battalion from 1988 to 1991. I believe I was on their rolls 28, 30 months-ish. And I made the jump into Panama. So 36 years ago today, I was in a hospital in Texas because I'd been wounded during that operation. And to be honest, the only reason I survived was 2 reasons. 1, I was young and indestructible. And 2, I believe in divine intervention. I will get into that story. I also have Battle Dwarf on station to run interference for me if I start fucking shit up because, I've been drinking.
It's one of those nights, man. It's one of those nights.
Got me some tea here, but let's just call it jungle juice.
Adjusted tea.
Mm-hmm.
It's maximized.
All right, let's see if we got a 5x5 in the chats here to make sure everyone can hear us.
We got Rumble 5x5.
Right, so if Rumble's got us, then YouTube's got us as well.
Yeah, it looks like YouTube is 5x5.
All right, good. Excellent. Now, let's just do now. When I tell these stories, people are like, "Oh, it's a little crazy. I don't know." Okay.
No.
So I'm going to share some stuff here with you guys here. Let's see.
Yeah. Matter of fact, a lot of these stories turned out to be way more horrific than the stories that get told. I knew guys from Gothic Serpent. We watched Black Hawk Down, and they're like, "No, it was way worse."
That's way worse.
It's a lot worse than that.
All right, hang on. Here we go. Let's share that. Add stage. Okay, so this here is my actual certificate. It's the enemy marksmanship badge. If you read there at the bottom, it's fucking Panama. That's how that shit rolls. And here's the douche who awarded it to me. I was fucking out of my mind. It was General Vono. I don't know if he's a 1 or 2 star. He's probably dead by now. It's been almost 4 years.
I remember that Pop.
Yeah. That's
it's young Pop.
That's young Pop before his nose got bigger and his ears got bigger, and my testicles have not grown up off of my neck like they are now and up my back. And part of it's coming out of my ears now because I'm old. I'm grandpa old. But when I went to the hospital and I had a dislocated right hip, 3rd-degree sprained ankle, torn tendons in my knee. They put me on painkillers. Of course, when you're 21, you're not used to that shit, so it knocked me out for a couple hours. And when I awoke, there was a Purple Heart on the pillow next to my head. And about an hour after that, the general came back and they wanted pictures. So they took a picture of me, getting the Purple Heart again and shaking hands with the general, which I never met this guy before. But apparently back then this was a big hooty-doo in the news, and it is what it is. So I'm just letting you guys know that been there, done that, got the T-shirt. Now here's another couple assets.
We hated those pictures. Generals do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
You go do something cool and then the general wants to take a picture with you.
And they always give you the same briefing.
Yeah. Just shake his hand, smile.
All right. Now, here's another one from Operation Just Cause from the Navy SEAL perspective. So let me add this to the stage. Unfuck your life. Where are you? Hang on. Okay.
Add to stage. There you go, buddy.
All right. There it is. So this tells you a little bit about them assaulting the airfield. And a bunch of them got tore up from the floor up because guess what? Assaulting across open areas with no cover,
I hear that's bad for you.
bad for your health. Yeah, you get a total calorie loss to include your entire body. But you'll see here, they assaulted an airfield that they were trying to stop a plane that Noriega could have used to possibly fly out of there. And they talk about the Zodiac special boats, which are badass. I've ridden in them a couple times. Those guys don't fuck around. And as platoons continued with all possibility to reach PDF hangars on the northwestern side of the runway. And you'll see the initial volley, 8 of the 9 SEALs were wounded.
Why did they not just 50 cal that aircraft from a distance?
I listen. Navy SEAL's gonna Navy SEAL. I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah.
Just is what it is.
Okay.
But I will be talking about Navy SEALs in the story as we get into it. And I'm just letting you know that this actually is a real thing. All right, so let's remove that.
SEALs are goofy. They do some weird shit for no reason. Well, it looks like no reason to us, but
yeah. Well, listen, man, I'm just a dude. Back in the day when this happened, I was just, an E4. I was a quote unquote tabless bitch, which, I was despised for the most part. And this was the mission that made me, it could make you or break you. All right. So I'm not going to read this entire thing to you. This isn't actually in a newspaper from an Italian guy that was actually there. I don't personally know him. But he goes into pretty good detail of the story of what happened. And I'm trying to find. Okay, in here it says the plan was to parachute in and jump from 500 feet. He says, as we approached the drop zone, we started taking incoming fire. Our C-130s were riddled with enemy rounds. We could hear them hit and pass through our plane.
Nice.
Taking evasive action to avoid being shot down, our pilots veered down and banked sharply. We jumped immediately at an altitude of 450 feet. Within seconds, we were on the ground. So this is it. I put the links to the story in the chat so you guys can follow it for yourself after the stream. But I've told the story, I believe, one other time way back in the day when I was in New York, and I'm gonna pretty much cover all the exact same stuff, except there will be a few PG-13 things which I will not talk about because it's the equivalent of mental rape. All right, and this last one here, there it is. Share. Add stage. All right, so this is actually ArmyRanger.com. And they talk about, Operation Just Cause. The first half of this talks about when the Rangers attacked another objective because we assaulted 2 objectives. I was on the Rio Hato objective. And again, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. You guys don't come here to have me read your shit.
Tell us a story.
Okay, the attack in Rio Hato commenced simultaneously with the assault on Torrejosa, Toucan, with brief preliminary fires. 3 minutes after the opening fires, the green light of the lead C-130 came on, and the first of 873 Rangers exited the black aircraft at 500 feet above ground level, which it was lower. The anti-aircraft fire was so heavy, for the moment unsuppressed, and close air supports had to cease fire and withdraw while paratroopers in the air. 11 of the 13 packs, 11 of the 13 aircraft were hit.
Jesus.
Okay, transfer hit as they flew over the objective.
Did they provide any pre-pounding of the objective?
I don't believe there was much pre-pounding of the ass.
Usually there's at least some.
Yep. And I will cover that in the story because
That's terrifying.
it's fucking hilarious. It's funny now after 36 years, but
well, yeah, sure.
Back then, when your heart is pounding and it's like jumping out your throat and out your ass. On the ground, the Rangers found themselves in a 360-degree firefight against an alert and dispersed Panamanian Defense Force, who, while not well organized, were all over the place, firing at the Rangers as they discarded their chutes.
Yeah.
So this goes on to talk about we went up against the Macho de Monte and one of their armored cavalries. And oh shit.
What'd you do? Kick it off the thing?
Yeah.
That's okay. I'd like to point out while Popp is unfucking himself over there that the Panamanians, we had been training their forces for years and years prior to this.
At the School of?
At the School of the Americas.
Yeah. Schoolio of the Americanos.
We had been training these motherfuckers to fight. And then we're like, oh, fuck it. Let's just jump them.
Yeah. We're going to fight them after we get done training and equipping them because that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But that's exactly how it went down.
At least we had a good idea what kind of weapons to expect.
Well, they had actually, what is it? AKs. They had all kinds of Soviet stuff and American stuff.
They had a lot of G3s, didn't they?
Yeah, we actually got into their arms room when we had piles and piles of weapons.
Wow.
Yeah, which I missed out on because I was getting medevaced.
Oops.
But that is how it goes when you want to be the dude.
Note to self: never get shot before you loot.
Correct. I got ran over. They shot at me and missed me, but
okay. Never get run over before you loot.
Yeah, it could have went either way. It was kind of crazy. So let me check some of the comments here on YouTube. All right. Popp didn't take long. He skipped the foreplay.
Chicas are hot there. That's true. Panamanian girls are pretty
Yeah. But
outstanding.
You fuck around with those women, you're gonna catch yourself some vada.
And a knife.
Yeah, you get knifed. Now another thing, that one article I showed you, they said 450 feet. All right, years later,
a pilot story.
Yeah, years later, I was doing elevator jumps on Selfridge Air National Guard base, and what that is you get on a helicopter, they take you up to 800 feet, you have a parachute on, you fall out, and then my sergeant major would go, "You still hate jumping, Popp?" I'm like, "Yes," and he'd make me do 5 or 6 in a row. Mm-hmm. Asshole, love him to death, but still, asshole move. One of these jumps, I'm putting my chute, in the kit bag. And these guys are playing through because we're literally jumping on the golf courses of Selfridge. And it turns out one of the guys was a retired C-130 pilot. And he's like, "Oh, he saw my combat scroll. Oh, you're a Ranger Battalion? Yeah. And I jumped in there. He goes, "Man, I have a story for you." And he said, "Hey, we'll be at the golf club eating lunch or whatever, dinner, whatever time it was, in about a couple hours." So I met him there, and he told me, we talked about it. He was one of those pilots, and on the bird he was in, I don't even remember the bird I was in. I'm pulling this story across the span of 36 years, a couple of dozen concussions, a TBI blast injury, and a stroke. So, he basically states that the primary hydraulics had been shot out on his bird, and to get under the fire, they went down to 435 feet. So that is way below 500 feet. And if you look at the casualties that took place during the invasion, there was just a whole mess of guys that had all kinds of lower extremity injuries because of parachutes that weren't open all the way. And we'll get into that. Okay. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes here. We got 123 on Rumble. We got 177 on Ube of Tube. 9 on MGTOW. And we have 7 on Odyssey. All right. So let's just get into this, shall we? So I organized them here. I'm going to skip over the what?
What do you got there?
I write down reminders to the stories
The
so
notes.
I don't forget them. Well, they're not actual notes. They're just it's the way my memory works now. I have to.
It's your peripheral brain.
Yeah. So we're going to skip over the RIP stories. We're going to skip over my initial arrival at Second Bat, which was less than hospitable. All right, so we're going to go into the jumps. Now, there was a whole lot of training getting ready for this. I mean, we're talking a couple of dozen jumps in, 2 to 4 months prior. And because I was a tabless bitch, an E4 from Lakeland, I was not well received. And because of that, whenever any kind of special duty request came down, they say, "Hey, Popp, send Popp. Let him do it." So I wound up actually doing some time as a Jeep driver and motorcycle, Honda 250. You actually put a parachute on it and you go over the runway, because we used to seize airports. You start the bike, you kick it out, you go after it, you follow to the ground, and then you drive up and down. You have a radio, and you basically call in all of the obstacles and enemy forces and what have you. And I had done that about half a dozen times. And the last time we did it, it was, I don't know, somewhere between O Dark 30 and the ass crack of dawn. Because that's usually when the shit happens. We jumped out, and we were jumping on an objective. I don't remember where it was, but it was like a full mock-up. It had, hangars, planes. They had put up barbed wire.
Nice.
There was all kinds of simulated explosions and what have you. So I follow the bike down. I take off its chute. I take off my parachute, and this was close to about as close as you can get to the real thing, because we were not required to put our parachutes in the chute shakeout bags and what have you. So I literally took the chute off the bike, did my canopy releases, took off my harness, got on the bike, and went to business. And I had a throat mic on. I was driving with nods, which is not recommended. And I'm not a bike guy. I never rode motorcycles before, and so I was not well suited to this mission. And during this, I basically ran into a mountain of razor wire and concertina wire.
I've done that.
No. This was a mountain. It was like 18 feet high, and they had run it along the runway, and I guess they had just piled it up in this one area. And when you're doing about 25, 30 miles an hour on a motorcycle in the dark with nods.
Oh, no, I haven't done that. I've not done.
So,
no.
Yeah, my fucking bike hits the wire. I fall into this mountain of wire, and there's no fucking way I'm getting out of it. I hear the bike, it idles for a little while, then it cuts off because it was sideways. And there's nothing I could do. I started like squirm around, and I was cutting myself up. I could feel myself bleeding, and I'm like, I'm going to die if I keep doing this.
Wow. Yeah.
So, it went on for about another hour. Everyone hit their objectives. They did what they're supposed to do, and then they index. And that's what they call when the operation's over. White lights come on, and then about an hour after that, they're on the radio going, "Hey, man, hey, Popp, where you at?" Pop, are you on station? And all I could do is touch my throat mic and go, Pops and Wire. Like, where you at? Where you at?
Pops and Wire.
Pops and Wire. So I was there for about almost 2 hours before they found me, and then they had to cut me out, and everyone had all kinds of nasty bad words to say. But
what are you going to do?
Yeah, I didn't lose any equipment.
Yeah.
It kind of sucked, but that was the last time I was the bike driver. They moved me on to something else. And during the bike driving or the Jeep driving, I was assigned to a blocking position team. I was not driving the Jeep. I was just one of the crunchies. And every single time while we did these rehearsals, some ranger got ran over by a Jeep. It happened every fucking time. Somebody got their leg ran over or an arm ran over. Because the rangers would be in the prone on the flat top when the bird would land. They'd come out and they'd secure the area. And some of them didn't get out far enough. So when the Jeeps came out, they ran somebody over. And I was one of those crunchies. So I made sure when I came out the ramp, I button hooked way off to the left and went out about, an extra 50 meters because I understand how vehicles work. I have seen people get run over in leg land, and then I saw people get run over in ranger land, and I was not going down that road because contrary to popular belief, it's good to have healthy bones, and breaking them is not conducive to that at all. All right.
Bad for you is my understanding.
Yes. All right. Then, we did one rehearsal at an airport in Oklahoma. And this is an actual like airport kind of thing. And it was only about 60 degrees. We went out of the bird roughly somewhere around midnight. And I had a great exit, chute opened, no problems. Everything was hunky-dory. We're coming down, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be an easy landing. Yeah, it's no problem. And I should have learned my lesson because that is one of the worst landings I've ever had in my military career.
Did you shit the bed, or did something shit the bed for you?
No. Like, I landed, and I didn't even PLF. I landed, and it was such a forceful landing. My head literally smashed off the concrete almost between my own legs.
Oh!
Yeah.
You're lucky you didn't do a hip.
Well, the thing is I did not lower my saw because I was a saw gunner. So that took a majority of the force. And it bent the weapon into like a bow and arrow kind of thing. Deadline the whole thing.
That's gone. Yeah, that's gone.
3 inches of concrete smashed up the barrel. Now, if I had lowered that weapon, it would have broke my legs easily. Wow. Easily. And for whatever reason, they had tied it off so I couldn't lower the weapon. I don't know if they were being paranoid, thinking that if I lowered it, it would get damaged on the concrete. I don't know, but that's how fate works. And I got up and I was out of my fucking mind, and I was running the wrong way down the runway. And I literally ran into my team that was coming at me, and they're like, Pop. And I'm like, all fucked up. And like, oh my God, I had blood everywhere. Fucking head. If I recall, it was 2 stitches in my forehead because it literally split my scalp open through the helmet.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a bad deal. And this was before concussions were actually a big thing. So we finished the mission. We go through the AR. All the people who are injured go see the medic. And I tell the medic what happened. He's like, yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah. Checks my pupils. Yeah, they're not blown out. Yeah, you'll be fine. You just rung your bell pretty bad. And I had a headache for like 2 or 3 days. Yeah, that was a really good. Now that was a bona fide concussion.
We had a cushy night jump like that. One of the guys came down on, the concrete barriers they put on roads, the rectangles.
Oh, fuck yeah.
One leg on, one leg off.
That was it for him.
Yeah, he was. It just ruined his fucking right leg. Was gone basically.
All right, and then of the couple of dozen jumps we did prior to Panama, every single one was on the runway because we were runway. I was a runway clearing team. So, you know, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, back in the day, you really couldn't get your hands on knee and elbow pads. It was like not a really big thing. So I went down to the Tacoma Mall. They had a Toys R Us, and I bought knee and elbow pads and all the
skateboard shit.
Yeah, well, it was rollerblading shit.
Oh, okay.
So after the first couple times, we'd be getting ready, and I'd be like strapping on these like big knee braces with plastic padding and everything, putting on the elbow stuff, and then you even have the stuff that covers your wrists. I put those on.
Yeah.
And everybody like, oh, you're a Pop. Pop's a fucking pussy. And people were mocking me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like towards the beginning of these jumps. I made like 2 or 3 of these jumps. By the time we got to like 10 or 12 jumps, everybody in my platoon had safety equipment that they bought on their own fucking dime.
They were all now rollerblading fans.
Yes, they're all rollerblading fanatics. Of course, they spray painted them like black and green and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's funny how that goes. Hey, you're an idiot. Hey, that works. You're still an idiot, and I'm going to copy you, but don't you dare say anything about it because I will smoke you till you die. That's exactly how that went.
And that's the story of how the 2nd Battalion Ranger joined the movie cast of Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John.
Okay, so the last rehearsal was Puerto Rico. And in
Rosie
Puerto
Rhodes.
Rico, we did like 3 jumps. We actually did one during the day and 2 night jumps. And one of those night jumps, I came down. I don't know what happened. The winds, Murphy. I don't really know what happened. But I'm coming down and I land between these 2 piles of scrap metal. If I'd have landed on any one of these piles of scrap metal,
you'd have been cheese grated.
I'd have been dead. And I it's like one of my lives right there that I burned up. And I was like 200 and maybe 250 meters away from the runway. So whoever was calling winds, I don't know what they were smoking that night. Maybe it was banana peel, so it wouldn't show up on a piss test, but that's what happened. And we actually had a couple guys get hurt that did not make it to the Panama jump because of those few last rehearsals. And we did we did a couple of fragos where we had a blocking position that was getting overrun, and we had to move down there and reinforce. And then the indirect fire from 6mm mortars, which is a big thing down there in South America because they're easily transportable.
6mm or
60?
60. Like 6mm mortar, you practically return fire with a tennis racket.
No, it was a 60mm mortar, and we were getting hit with a lot of that. So we'd have to react to that and try to hunt these guys down. And it was a pretty extensive deployment. And I remember sleeping. You train all day. You're just dog tired. We'd eat chow, and we'd set up our hooches, and I'm literally like 100, 200 meters away from the ocean. So you have the waves putting you to sleep and everything. And I remember laying there and going, oh, this is paradise. We woke up in the morning, packed up, and then we went back to Fort Lewis. Now, they kept us locked down for about 2 or 3 days after we got back from this training deployment.
Yeah, I hated that.
And which for like in 3 or 4 days after that, we got alerted to go to Panama.
Mhm.
And what they were doing is they were doing a complete inventory, sub-hand receipt inventory to make sure we had all of our shit because they knew we were going to get deployed. And we're not stupid. We were watching the news, all of the craziness that was going on with Noriega.
Mhm.
And yeah, we knew it was going to go down. It was going to go down. So finally, they're like, okay, you guys are off tomorrow. So right around 12 o'clock, 11:30, I get in my hot ride Camaro, which was a 1975 Camaro with a 383 engine, high rise manifold, 1150 Dominator, Holly carburetor, had a
Sounds like you
souped up
put a little time
transmission.
into this.
Oh yeah, souped up transmission.
Mhm.
You know, it had a hood scoop on it. It was total road warrior shit. And I go down to the Tacoma Mall, and I had my own little ritual, which involved coming through the front door, going to 31 flavors, and getting a large chocolate raspberry truffle shake. And
Sorry.
I'd consume that,
Yeah.
and then I would go down to this restaurant called Pacific Soup and Salad. You know, if I'd go to GNC and maybe look at knives and stuff.
Mhm.
And, you know, and I got a French dip, and it had that. I got a couple bottles of that raspberry seltzer. I don't know why, I just loved it. And then they had this ranch dressing, and I have never been able to
Mhm.
find its equal, and I've looked for years.
Oh,
And I'm
somebody
sitting there,
tweaked it.
yeah, and I'm eating my sandwich, and I'm like, I finish the sandwich, and I'm almost done with the salad, and this guy runs by, and I'm like, what's going on? Another guy run by, and I'm like, somebody started a gunfight or something, because there had been violence between Rangers in the crypts at the mall before.
Mhm.
And this guy, I don't know who he was, comes in, looks in. I have a high and tight. He has a high and tight. And he goes, "We've just been alerted. We need to go now." And I'm like, okay, get up, throw money on the table. I'm sorry, I have to go. I told the waitress, I'm out the door. And now I'm running. And I run to my car, fire it up, and I obeyed no traffic laws. I stopped for 0 lights, and I was going down, I think that's I-5 between the Tacoma Mall and Fort Lewis, in excess of like 120 miles an hour. I was just hauling balls because, you know, you don't want to miss movement. You have
It's
X
bad.
amount of time.
It's bad.
And I remember I came in through the Madigan gate, and I literally come up off the on ramp, go around 2 cars, blow the light, turn left, and I did not stop at the gate. Well, there was no gate. There's just openings, and then you'd stop, and
Back then, there was very little security on the big bases.
And I just right through there.
Yeah.
And I have, you know, I have MPs behind me. Woo, woo, woo. Do I stop? Fuck no. I'm alerted. This is the real fucking deal. And again, I am rolling through Fort Lewis, probably around 70 to 90 miles an hour. I didn't break 100.
Maximum effort.
Maximum effort. And I remember I'm coming down the last straightaway to the back side of 2nd Ranger Battalion. And I'm like, and I can literally see guys in there because they were shutting the gate. They're like, stop, because they knew my car. Everyone knew my car. And I'm like, and I roll in there, and the engine is just a cunt hair away from like in the red line. So
Yeah.
I had driven that motor hard. And then they shut the gate, and you hear the MPs, we need to get in there. And they're like, we're alerted. Go fuck yourself. Because if they shut the gate, I miss movement.
Yeah.
They were like literally shutting the gate.
Yeah.
So I get in there, and we're going to jump to like about 2 weeks after the invasion. Actually, it was 2 weeks after the battalion came back from Panama, and I got harshly scolded for driving erratically and recklessly through Fort Lewis.
There are a couple of tiny little special privileges afforded the special operations community on the big bases.
Yes.
There are certain conditions where the big base guys cannot fuck with you at all, and they hate you for it, but they know it's true.
And once they shut that gate, you are no longer their property.
Yeah.
So I remember I was getting counseled by First Lieutenant Lombardi, who's passed away now, but he was actually related to Vince Lombardi, the football coach.
Mm-hmm.
And my platoon sergeant Greenway, who later became command sergeant of the regiment Greenway.
Oh.
And they're like, so we got some reports here that you were like driving excess of 100 miles an hour on I-5. And I'm like, well, is that a police report? Oh, no, this is just, I'm like, I had no knowledge of said incident. Well, what about, blowing through the Madigan Gate and driving in excess of 90 miles an hour to get to, get back to the battalion? I'm like, sir, they were shutting the gate. I had no time. Okay. You are not to drive like that ever again, no matter what the reason. And in my mind, I'm like, well, we get alerted again. I'll do it again, and I will not stop. And that is the whole Madigan Gate fiasco. And I actually got a couple tickets after that because some of the MPs felt this particular way about me driving recklessly on post. And I gave I beat all their tickets in court, so fuck them. But that's pretty much how that went down. All right, so I told the Cole Mall. All right, so I come into the barracks. Right through the door, they have a little 3x5 card they read you, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but they're like, all right, sorry, Specialist Popp, this is what's going on. We've been alerted. You're to contact nobody, blah, blah, blah. Like, you couldn't contact anyone because all of the pay phones had plastic bags on them, and then that was like duct tape to it, like a mummy.
Yeah.
And then it was put on the handset was put on the actual phone, and that was duct taped. So there's no way you can communicate with the outside world. And we were there for about 18 hours. And in that time frame, we had to palletize all our shit. You're going through your rucksack and all your stuff, making sure you're up to speed. And, everyone was smoking and joking. Like, oh yeah, is this going down? We're gonna kick some ass, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I think this is gonna get real quick. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take a few minutes. I gotta take a quick piss, so I'll be right back. I've been drinking all day. You gotta bear with me.
You've been drinking all day?
Yeah.
All right, I'll find a piss break here. Hang on. I know there's a piss break here somewhere. I was not expecting him to do that. He just
All right, sorry about that, gentlemen. You got to bear with me. All right. Uh,
He's old. His bladder is getting weak and thin.
yes, I've had 3 or 4 beers throughout the day. I'm
Mm.
well hydrated, and
Yeah.
everything is still working. So that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Now, when you get deployed to go to combat, it's not like you walk out the door with just your rucksack. Okay, you have to take your rucksack, which is packed to QRF standards. Then you have your A and B bag. All right,
Yep.
so you got to make sure you got a list of shit that goes in the A bag, and then you have the B bag, which is 50% personal shit. So in the B bag, I packed, like 2 or 3 knives, my own personal second chance bulletproof vest, and I had a Walkman, some tapes and stuff because that was the thing back then. There was no USB drives or none of that shit. Now I watched all my roommates take out their personal sidearms and throw them in the B bag. And that was technically a big no-no. You weren't supposed to do that. Did they listen? No, they did not. I myself, instead of taking, a sidearm, I just took a bulletproof vest, which was rated for 3A at the time, and I bought it from Second Chance. And I mean, that's just the way it was. Plus I had some comic books and my pogey bait. You can't go into deployment without your pogey bait because it is what it is. A bunch of Snicker bars and other candy, peanut butter, shit like that. Then you got to palletize all that shit, and then man, it was just such a clusterfuck.
We had half connexes too, not even the quarter ones. We had the rectangular for each of our platoons. We had a half connex because we had all the camo gear and antennas and all of that shit.
Yeah, the same shit.
All kinds of stuff made it into there. Fucking coffee machines.
Yeah.
Weapons.
Well, here's the thing though, is like we had done this like a couple dozen times prior to this. But for whatever reason, this was like the real deal.
Yeah.
And people were fucking up in their brain pan. I think it was stress. People were making, easy, stupid mistakes that you should make. And people got, yelled with and fucked with. There was a whole bunch of push-ups and stuff. There was no 12-mile road marches because they locked everyone down. But people got put on the bad boy list. There was a bunch of pushing and shoving and swearing and stuff. And I don't know. The only conclusion I can have to that is we're going to do the real thing. And the stress was starting to get to people. And we didn't sleep. Like we literally went for 8 hours straight, got everything palletized. They came with the trucks, pick up the pallets, took them to the airfield. And then we got on to cattle cars. Now, it's a real deal. Now, I don't know why they do this, but all of the windows in the cattle cars were covered with cardboard and taped, so you couldn't see out. And some guys went in buses, the same thing. I don't even know if the Army uses cattle cars anymore. They just probably use buses. They drove us over to McCord. And we went all the back way. We didn't go on any of the main roads to McCord. Got off, and they put us on a bunch of C-141s, and we flew down to Fort Benning. And we landed on the tarmac at Fort Benning and walked right into a tent city that had triple concertina wire around it. And we were there for, I believe, 36 hours. And while we're there, again, I don't remember eating any hot chow. I had like some MREs, main meals and stuff, but I think the chow was like, it just fell off the radar. We had the chaplains come and give, services and what have you. I myself was not really a big fan of the chaplains, never have been.
I have a chaplain story, but that's for a later time.
And
go forth and die terribly, my son. Yeah.
And they told us, like, okay, you know, here you go. This is what's going to take place. You're taking your rucksack and your A and B bag are going to stay behind. I'm like,
No.
well, you can't really do anything about it.
Wow.
I'm like an E4. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they issue us live ammo. So I'm like, okay, we're getting the real shit, the real deal. We go up there.
Here we go.
They give us like a basic load. It's like 180 rounds, one frag hand grenade, and then we come back, and, then our platoon sergeant Greenway is just like, "What the fuck is this shit? It's fucking stupid. We're gonna fucking," because he jumped in the Grenada. About 45 minutes.
Oh God, that was a fucking nightmare. What?
45 minutes later, they're like, "Okay, go up there and really get your ammo." And it was like Toys R Us. Like literally, you could take whatever you fucking wanted.
Whatever you could carry.
Yeah, whatever you care. I mean, I had C4, blasting cats, a whole
Nice.
bunch of hand grenades, law rockets, a bunch of 30 cal machine gun belts.
We hated you guys because we
Yeah.
were the combo guys. We saw that we're like, we've got like 3 mags, a frag, some smoke.
But then we get a mission change.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, you guys are Kazovac now. And I'm like, well, Kazovac? Like, yeah, you guys are jumping in Skidco's, which are basically plastic
sleds.
sheets.
Yeah, the sleds.
And we're in Dragon missile packs. So we rig up the Dragon missile packs. I have my ammo. And I remember Greenway comes by and he's doing a pre-combat inspection and he opens up a Dragon missile pack and he goes, there's nothing in this. I'm like, oh no, Sergeant, it's a Skidco. He's like, again, there's nothing in this. Fill this up with stuff that goes boom. So we literally became walking parachute ammo pallets because they filled that whole thing up with stuff that goes boom. I had C4 in there, bunch of machine gun belts, a whole bunch of 60 millimeter mortar rounds, Claymore mines, you name it, it was in there. And it weighed about 120 pounds.
I was going to say, that's now you're coming in around 400 on the jump.
Yeah. You have, well, the thing is, when I packed my
Your
rucksack.
ass is what, 150?
Back then, before Ranger School, I was about 168. So, and, you're packing your rucksack up and you're like, do I really need this? Like, I literally took a whole bunch of shit that should have been in my rucksack. Like, I kept the sling rope and the snap link.
Wow.
I took one toothbrush and one main meal packet from an MRA. I think it was beef stew. And that is about it. Everything else was stuff that went boom, or water. That's it. So we load all that shit up, and we put it all on, and we go through our first JMPI, and we could barely fucking move. It literally was an ordeal just to stand up. We get our first JMPI, and that's where they do your pre-jump check right there. And then they load us onto this, it was like a baggage, like in the airport, you see those little, like long train things where they put baggage on. They loaded us up on those, and we're going out towards the planes. And they took us to another, we didn't immediately go into the planes. We were put into, what was it? One of those big hangar. We're put in a big hangar. And then we got our second and final JMPI. So we have to go through that whole thing again. Got our second JMPI. And we all lay down. And again, now we're exhausted. We haven't slept. I haven't eaten a decent meal in like 2 days, maybe 2.5 days. and everyone's stressed. Now, my buddy Scott, who I hang out with up north, he was in RIP at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of the guys that actually loaded me onto the basically the truck that moved us to the birds and then carried us and put us in the birds. So, like, we get our second jam pan, they put these little chalk marks on your helmet, and 4 guys come get you, and they carry you, and they put you on this trolley thing, and then you go out to your bird, and then 4 guys will pick you up and walk you in and set you down, in the bird. And I was like 2 or 3 from the door, which, in hindsight, I think was fortunate for me. And wow, man, and there was no more laughing, there was no more joking. This is like the real deal. And this is where they start saying, yeah, by the time you get there, it's going to be plastered. They're going to bomb the shit at it. All you really got to do is count dead bodies.
Yeah. What did I
Don't
say at
even
the beginning of the show?
Yeah, it'll be great. Yeah. And they're like, there's somebody made up some like crazy numbers. They're going to drop 4 or 5, to 1,000-pound bombs. Everything's going to be leveled. We're like, oh, yeah, okay, cool, yeah. And it's an 8-hour fucking flight. It's December in Fort Benning. It is cold as shit. And as soon as you get in the bird, all of the jump masters and all of the crew chiefs are like, you need to pound water, drink fucking water, drink water. So they're making us drink. I'm like, okay, I played this game before. I had never been fully combat rigged for 8 fucking hours.
I bet that bird smelled fantastic.
That was fucking miserable. Because, they literally stand over you, make you watch you drink like 2 canteens of water. Then they fill you back up again. And we were in the air for about 2 hours. And I'm like, hey, I got to take a piss. Fuck it. And literally they just walk up, piss yourself, Ranger. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And they literally paid me no mind. I'm like, I got to fucking piss. This is fucking serious. So I roll over onto my side, and I'm like, and I pull out the little nipple, and I just start pissing. And it's like gathering, and I'm watching it like the river of piss roll
Run
towards
down the deck.
This other guy who's like on the other side of the bird. He sees it coming. He's like, and then as soon as it hits him, you just see him accept it. I look over at him. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. He's just like, yeah, whatever, man. It's all right. But everyone had to piss at least twice, man. So the bird it's stinking. It's horrible.
God.
Yeah. And then the whole time we have like these speakers, and they're going through the whole thing like, yeah. It went from like six 1,000-pound bombs. Yeah, they're going to hit the ground with 4 1,000-pound bombs. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be good. And
usually for the kids in the back who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, when you hit a major objective, one of the Army doctrine's biggest things is to pound the objective and soften it up a little bit first. Try to get rid of any ACAC, try to get rid of any radar. And they apparently did not do this at all in Panama to any real effect.
No, they didn't. And then, every hour it'd go from like, 4,000-pound bombs. And an hour later, they're going to hit it with 3 1,000-pound bombs. And like literally the bombs came down in poundage, and then the number of bombs went down, and it got to the point where like literally 30 minutes out, and they're like, there will be no air support. You're up against the Macho Diamante on our 7th Armored Cav. You'll be outnumbered 7-1. Rangers are needed on the ground.
Now, I know for a fact, because some of my platoon sergeants were on that runway, they had the SIGINT guys. Those were later my platoon sergeants. I know they had Apaches, but did they have any Spectre?
Spectre was not on station yet.
Jesus
Yeah. And we were coming in from over the ocean. So we're flying nap of the earth over the ocean, and they're like the birds are doing that. So I'm watching dudes who are like laying down, just like coming off the ground. And then you get the puking.
Yeah.
Like you got so, and then you have people shitting themselves. So you have piss, shit, and vomit all taking place in this aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
This was fucking horrible.
All the glory movies that all of you civvy kiddies out there watch, going, that looks so cool. You don't hear this.
Yeah, you don't hear this.
This is the real deal. This is the bare metal shit right here.
Yeah. So the way it worked is we're flying right over the ocean to like not get on their radar, and then we're gonna jump up to jump altitude when we get within 2 minutes of the objective. So they open the doors, and we're flying, nap of the ocean, and jump masters are going through their shit, and we're standing up while we're flying nap of the ocean. So people are like literally like, people are falling down, it was drip, snot is dripping off because people were crying. This was the real deal. It's people, you could see turds coming down people's legs. There was piss everywhere. People were puking on them. I mean, it was fucking insane. So they're going through all the jump commands like hook, stand up, hook up. I'm like, And my roommate, I'll say his name, last name Christoph, great guy. I hooked him up. I hooked him up for him, and he couldn't stand up because his legs had fallen asleep because we were rigged full combat gear.
Yeah.
And he's carrying the same amount of shit as I am, but he only weighs like 147 pounds. So the equipment he has on weighs more than him. So the jump commands were very lax because this was, this wasn't a training mission jump. This is the real deal. So we're all doing all okay, jump master, and then people are like falling down, and like you're literally doing the best you can. And we come up to jump level, and we start taking fire, and you could hear rounds hitting the bird, and I'm literally the door is right here. I'm 3 people away from it. My squad leader was the jump master, and I hear screaming behind me, and I look over, and you can see like a tracer bouncing around inside the aircraft. And right around there, I'm like, fuck this. Listen, I'm honest here.
This is an extra dose of no, fuck that.
Yeah. This is fucking insane. I'm not fucking doing this. And right at that moment, Murphy, I swear that the pilots have a switch, like they just flip it, and like fire came off of an engine. Because I looked out one of those little monkey holes, and there's fire coming off one of the engines. And I went from fuck this, I'm not jumping, to I'm getting the fuck off this aircraft.
How fast can I get out of here? Yeah.
And my roommate, Christoph, is laying there, don't leave me, Bob. I can't move. And I'm like, I'm reaching for my K-bar, and I'm like, I should cut a static line. And then that little voice in my head is like, nah, you can't do that, bro. Because if he lives through this, he'll be scarred forever. And I'm like, oh. And I guess the Ranger in the sky gave me a little kick in the ass, and I literally bent down, and I picked this fucker up with all of his shit, and I'm walking to the door with my shit, his body weight, and all of his shit, because he cannot walk. His legs are that asleep.
You rolled a 20 and got retard strength.
Yes.
Yeah.
For 2 combat actions, I had an 18 over 00 strength.
There you go.
Yeah, gauntlets of vulgar power. That's
right.
Totally D&D speak right there.
It is.
And I'm carrying him, so he grabs my static line and his, so he's controlling him, because I was kind of worried that it went around my neck and shit. And yeah. So like this all took place in the few seconds between me picking him up and going to the door. And I remember yelling in his ear as we're just about to go out the door. I'm like, do you want to live forever? And he's like, fuck no. So we both went out the door. Now, I didn't really think this through because his chute opened before mine because he was rigged up before me.
Mm-hmm.
And his chute opened and I hit it. And it literally felt like slamming into a concrete sand wall. Like, boom! Flash of light.
Cool.
I lost track just for a second where I was. And I was spun up so much from hitting his chute that my horizontal chest strap of the harness was up around my neck, choking me. And it was so twisted up. And I'm like, oh. And I'm reaching up there and, going through my training, trying to pull and kick your legs and stuff. There's not enough time for that. I thought it was 500 feet. So evil pop in my ear is just like, ride it in, Ranger. You won't choke out before you hit the ground. Just ride it in. So that's exactly what I did. I just, and I fucking, and I hit that ground so fucking hard. And the only reason my legs didn't break because I did not lower the Dragon missile pack. I lowered the rucksack.
Well, that's the second time a weapon has saved your life.
Yeah. I lowered the rucksack and I never felt it hit the end of the lowering line. That's how fast I was on the ground.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Kaboof.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that.
So my rucksack landed on one side of a 3-wire fence. I landed on the other side on a gravel road.
Good stuff.
And then my parachute landed in this small tree. So now my position is being flagged. I don't even know. Nobody landed near me. My buddy Kirk landed about 100 meters from me. And he saw.
I mean, on one hand, you're not going to get dragged by your chute, but on the other hand, it's a big shoot here sign.
Mm-hmm. My buddy Ranger Kirk landed about 120 meters away from me. He saw what transpired. And I remember I'm on one knee and I'm facing towards the 3-wire fence into the so-called drop zone we're supposed to jump in. I do my 2 canopy releases, and it took about 30 seconds for me to do all that, maybe less. And then I heard the crackling of gravel. And out of my peripheral vision, I saw a bumper and a headlight, which was not on, of a truck.
Uh-oh.
And all I had time to do was tilt my head. And that truck hit me at speed. And I can still hear the headlight shattering, the sting of pieces of glass, dig into my face and neck. The wind get knocked out of me. Now, if I had taken my reserve chute off, I'd probably be dead because the bumper hit the reserve parachute and took a lot of that blunt trauma.
A lot of the energy, yeah.
Yeah. And I literally flew maybe 30 feet into the ditch, which had water in it because it's fucking Panama.
Well, so he clipped you at an angle and sent you flying.
Yes. And then he pulled on top of me. He literally followed me in. Now, luckily for me, none of my arms or legs, were run over by one of the tires. But I was underneath this vehicle, pinned, looking up at the bottom of the engine. I could still smell, the motor and the oil and all that shit. And there was a little bit of antifreeze. All they really had to do was get out of the vehicle and cut my throat, and there was nothing I could have done. Nothing.
How long did it take them to surgically remove your shorts from your ass afterward?
I don't know. But it was fucking crazy. And after that, they fucked up here. They fucked up. They pulled off of me. They backed up back onto the gravel road, which was maybe 10 yards away. And the vehicle was pitching and yawing, and there was a guy standing in the back with an RPK because I could still see the signature of the weapon, and he was lining me up to stitch me up and just kill me. Now, this is the point where I talk about divine intervention. Because my car 15 was on the outside of the Dragon missile pack. I'd only been on the ground maximum 30 seconds. I have no memory of putting that weapon into action, meaning I have no memory of reaching over with my left hand, undoing the main strap, taking the weapon out, and then retrieving the 30-round magazine, which only had 20 rounds in it, of tracers, and putting it in the weapon. I have no memory of that. But somehow, like it was magic. It just appeared in my left hand. It's like poof. And I fired first. We had a brief, violent
discussion
or debate of who got to stay and who got to go.
Yep.
And I remember it was like a laser gun. The tracer rounds went right through that dude, and then I walked him down into the vehicle.
Into the cabin. Yeah.
Into the cabin. Now, I don't know if I got the driver or who else was in there. I could see the tracers bouncing around in there. It was like popcorn that was on fire. And then the weapon went dry. I set the weapon down, and I reached and I grabbed a frag grenade, and I pulled the pin. And I remember Sergeant Greenway. He's like, "Yeah, you got to make sure you take off the second safety pin. If you don't take off the second, it's useless." So I remember I got the second safety. The spoon came off. There was a little flash of light when the primer cap hit. And I'm holding it. And then this is the first time I ever heard Evil Popp in my ear. He's just like, "Throw it." I'm like, ah. And I just, I literally half-assed throw. It was like a backhand thing. It hit the truck, bounced down, and detonated. I have no idea if it got anybody or not. And then I literally, took off the harness. I left the Dragon missile pack there, picked up my weapon, crawled under the wire, got my rucksack, and I remember leaking up with it was a bunch of guys. I think it was from 3rd Bat. And I remember the challenge. I was Glory Boy. They were Bulldog. Or maybe it's mixed up. And I linked up with these guys. And then we came across 2 guys that were in a depression, just waiting it out. I'm like, "Hey, man, we got to go." They're like, "Oh, we're waiting for our squad leader." And I'm like, "Yeah, get the fuck up and get in the fight." And all of these Rangers like wedged off of me, and we're moving along. We started taking fire from a couple buildings. I don't know, maybe they're 150, 200 meters away. I don't remember. And it was just like, we did exactly as we were trained. We just kind of swung around, got in the prone, and we just fucking went crazy on these fucking buildings. There was 2 M60s there, and there was at least 1 or 2 saws. It was like, wow, wow, and then the shooting stopped. And we got up and we moved, and we engaged like 2 or 3 targets that were out there, actively trying to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember I saw the assembly area where I was supposed to go. I believe it was a long whip antenna, and they had like 2 or 3 little small chem lights on there in certain colors.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "All right, this is my assembly area. You guys yours is over there."
Pete says you left the knife that he bought you.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. So anyway, I remember I walked to my assembly area, and Sergeant Owens challenged me in. He's like, "Oh, fucking who's that?" It's fucking. I'm like, "This is Popp." "Well, you're fucking late, motherfucker. What happened?" I'm like, "I got ran over by a truck." He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." "Get the fuck up here, you motherfucker!" And I'm like, "All right, here we go." So I dropped all my fucking ammo, bunch of, in my rucksack. I had a bunch of 6mm mortar rounds and some belted ammo and 30 and 223. And we moved up to our objective. And since I was casualty evacuation, we went up to the CP. And I remember telling Lombardi, I'm like, yeah, I got ran over by a truck, pretty fucked up. He's like, okay. He goes, you're just going to pull security. So during that night, I did at least half a dozen missions where we went retrieved wounded Rangers, and all I did was pull right side security. There was a couple of firefights. Did I hit anybody? I don't know, but I'm a really good shot, so it is what it is. And that's how that went down. And then I remember I was at the CP when Price and Lair got killed. And
hey, William Crane over at Rumble says he was told by a platoon sergeant, Sergeant First Class Howell, of a situation during Just Cause where he was in the Rangers and they got into a 45-minute firefight with the 82nd. Do you know anything about that?
There was some friendly fire incidents.
Blue on blue, yeah.
Yeah, because the 82nd jumped in like an hour after we jumped in.
Yeah.
And it was just a total clusterfuck. But in the grand scheme of things, I mean, 82nd is a fine unit, and they just weren't honed as sharply as they're like the Marines of the air. They're a blunt instrument.
I was going to say those guys are a bludgeon. They're also a cult.
Yes. Now, if you ever watch Lord of the Rings,
mm-hmm.
82nd are the orcs. They are just good at what they do.
Okay. Pete also says, don't forget to tell him how you took that poncho liner from a dude on the tarmac.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not going to get into that kind of detail. We'll get into that.
Pete seems to have his own set of stories that go along with this.
Yeah.
I know what happened to you, by the way, when you managed to get the car off of your Dragon Pack. It's in all of the new cartoon movies where you've got all the people running around inside your brain, and hand and other hand are going, brain is down, we need to do something, unbuckle that thing over there, and brain's on the ground going,
Yeah, and he's like,
yeah.
But I don't have any memory of that. I just don't.
Brain was down.
Yeah. I mean, I just got hit by a truck.
Yep.
And
the
funny thing is,
420 feet.
I wasn't in any pain. I was so hopped up on
no, you're pumped on adrenaline.
Yeah,
you don't feel a fucking thing.
There was no fucking pain. I didn't feel anything.
That is real. I have seen guys just get racked and keep going, and like 2 days later they're like, oh fuck, oh what the hell.
Yeah. And one of the things that I remember that night is we're retrieving a ranger who had been wounded, and we had to cross this road.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 6 of us. So 3 guys run across the road, and then there's just machine guns rip right down the fucking road. Now I'm on the second 3, and I'm like, well, we got to get across this road. So we're like, fuck it. All 3 of us got online and sprinted across. And just as we cleared it, you see the machine guns come down the road. And like 4 or 5 seconds after that, Spectre just hit it with a 105. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, that's cool. Because we had like glint tape on our helmets,
mm-hmm.
so they could see us. And we got that guy out of there. And he wasn't wounded too bad. I think he was a flesh wound in the leg, and he had another one that didn't hit his hip, but didn't hit the bone. It literally like skirted the bone and came out his ass. He had a really wicked ass wound.
Bullets do just insane shit.
Yeah,
they do.
And we threw him in the Skidco. Well, they threw him in the Skidco. I just pulled security. I didn't, because I was fucked up. I couldn't really. My strength was waning. It's just the way it is. But yeah, Spectre was on station by then, and that thing is no joke. And this is 1990 Spectre. This isn't like 2025 Spectre.
I have a really good Spectre story from Afghanistan. I'll tell some other time.
Yeah, so we got that guy in there, and I was in the CP when they brought in Philip Lair, and he was KI'd, and they were assaulting across an open area, and he got hit with an AK-47 round, and it literally went in this one side of his throat and came out the base of his skull, like right there in the spine. He was killed instantly. Now, I personally had a few run-ins with Lair in the barracks. He was an arrogant kind of guy. I didn't really hate him or nothing, but I knew what his face looked like, and it did not look like him. In fact, I remember Doc Neiman had to like really fish out his dog tags and confirm it was him and read the name on his shirt. It did not look. It did not look like him at all, at all. And we moved him over to another room because you don't keep the wounded and the dead in the same area because then you wind up with more dead.
Yeah.
And we moved him over to this small room. There was a couple of vending machines in there, and the night progressed. And I remember as the sun came up, maybe there was 20 or 30 minutes of daylight. It literally just came up. And I remember looking over my shoulder because I was pulling security out one of the windows. And I swear to God, I saw Lair standing next to his own body.
Yeah. I believe that.
And it looked like him because I knew his face. And I remember telling some people that story about a couple months after that. And they're like, no, don't say no shit like that. It's going to make everybody upset. But yeah, that really, that one was fucking fucked up. And then when the sun came up, Lieutenant Lombardi was like, "Hey, Popp, you got to go to the casualty collection point." And I argued with him briefly. I'm like, "I'm good to go, sir. I don't need to go to there." And he's just like, "Fuck you, Ranger. You got hit by a truck. Now get your fucking ass down to the casualty collection point." And there was there was another. I'm gonna just gloss over this part, but during the night, I had to go down to the motor pool and pull security while they pulled another wounded Ranger out of there, and there was an altercation that took place there that I'm not going to go into detail about. But that was the mental rape thing. That was bad. All right, we'll just leave it at there. So I get in this bongo truck thing. It was like a van. I don't remember who made it. And the wheels were gone. It was literally just rubber on rims. And I'm in there, and there's a guy on a stretcher, and he was actually in my company. He was an E5, and he wound up fragging himself. He threw a frag grenade into a corrugated tin building and stood up there, and then it literally fragged himself through the wall. And I am, I'm kind of fucked up. I'm starting to feel the pain, and I just kind of look over and go, "Is he fucking dead too?" And the guy on the stretcher is like, "Fuck you! Go fuck yourself! I'm not fucking dead! Fuck you!" I'm like, "Sorry, man."
Not dead. By the way, corrugated tin is concealment, not cover.
Yes. I go down to the casualty point, and because I'm walking wounded, I'm like last priority. And this was roughly somewhere between 9 and 10 in the morning. And I'm literally waiting around, and I got hayed for yet another detail. And this was to go out into, the runway and along the service road that connects to the MSR and drag dead bodies into the jungle because the news crews would be there in about an hour.
Yeah.
And I probably dragged about 16 or 17 whole dead bodies into the jungle and then picked up pieces of others. Whatever happened to them, I have no idea. They're probably still laying out there. I don't know. But they got smoked by Spectre because they were like bottlenecking to get out, to the main MSR to get the fuck out of there. And Spectre 105 them, and then I guess some of the little birds, hit them with the miniguns and rockets. And there was some friendly fire incidents as well. I don't really know the details too much. Yeah. And during that night, I came across the one Ranger who was paralyzed, and he'd been folded over on himself, And the story is that he hit the ground so hard he literally just folded backwards. And if there was not a medic there, because he was like, "Hey, kill me, just kill me."
Yeah.
And if there was not a medic there, I probably would have put him down.
Yeah.
Because that's what I would expect the same fucking treatment from anybody else.
I have seen one similar incident.
Yeah.
I was there for one similar, and it was, they finally just loaded the guy up with a bunch of morphine.
Yeah.
Like all of the morphine.
It was a fucking rough. And like this is like I had seen a guy dying in Yakima. At least I assume he died. He got ran over by a 113, I believe, in his sleeping bag.
Crunchies.
But like this is the first time I'd ever like saw somebody that I knew die. And it's the first time I ever saw him in a spirit standing over his body.
Yeah.
And I never had, experienced the death on that scale. I mean, I was 21 years old. And Christoph was a virgin. Because I remember during the flight, he's like, fuck, I have never got no pussy. This is some bullshit. And I remember
that's hard. That's hard.
Benchwall, he was the blonde-haired muscle man. He's just like, we're gonna take care of that if we make it out of this.
That's outstanding.
Well, yeah, he got no pussy, man. And,
that's outstanding. Hey, William Crane throws a tenor at us and says, "Was there any naval gunfire used on the Cologne area?"
I don't recall. All right,
yeah, when you're that close to an objective, you don't know what's going on in all the other objectives.
And I was just an E4. I'm literally just at the point in my career, like, you go here, you do this, hey, you do this. And I'm like, yes. I mean, Ranger, I mean, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
And I'd only been in the regiment like maybe 8 months, 10 months with RIP and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing outside of your squad.
Yeah, or my platoon. I was pretty tight with everyone.
It was a good 5 years in before I started to understand or know anything beyond a platoon level.
All right, so I'm going to go take another piss. I'm going to come back.
You are so weak.
I know. That's what happens when
I need another piss break. Where are the piss breaks? I don't know where Jimmy keeps them all.
I'll be right back. Won't take me long.
All right. Good God. That's crazy stuff. The moment of uncomfortable silence. I don't know what to tell you. I kind of hopped on just to hang out with Popp because we are this close to the holidays. And it's fucking hard for some of us. It's actually still hard for me, even though I've got Mrs. Battle Dwarf in the house and the dogs. But there's still a lot of shit that goes through my fucking head, man. Believe me. So any of you guys out there need anybody to just fucking talk to, the email. Let's see. Pop's back at it, taking a whiz. Hey, we all need to take a piss. All right, go take a piss. Fuck off. I don't know where all the videos are. Jimmy's the one who knows where all the videos are. I don't know where fucking anything is. Let's do this for a second. Right, spin around. Disco dwarf, don't mess around. Snap your fingers, clap your hands. I'm the funkiest dude in all the land. He's a disco dwarf, you know his name. Bringing funky colors to the Hall of Fame. In a tie-dye suit, watch the people stare. When the disco dwarf boogie's everywhere. Disco dwarf.
All right, so I get done dragging the bodies, into the jungle. I go back to the casualty collection point, and I on the way there, we had a bunch of Panamanian prisoners, and they had them in this pen area. Now I'm an E4, don't have a lot of pull, but there were some privates that were guarding these guys, and they were getting out of hand. And I remember walking up, and I'm like, "What the fuck you doing?" These guys are fucking enemy combatants. I mean, they're in uniform. You can't be fucking them up like that.
Yeah.
Give them some fucking water. Stand them the fuck up, or at least let them sit down and quit fucking with them. This is some bullshit. I'm going to run your names up the flagpole. And oh, sorry, man. I mean, that's what I did. And I remember once I got back to the casualty collection point, I sat there for like another 2.5 hours. And they were bringing guys in with sucking chest wounds,
Ugh.
lacerations that were hitting arteries, compound fractures, all kinds of fucked up shit.
One of the units near us got a sucking chest wound, and a guy fixed it with a fucking plastic bread loaf bag.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
It worked. I don't know what to tell you. It's like...
Yeah, but, I was limping around. I was ambulatory. By this time, like, my hip was swelled up. Like, it looked like I had a bulldog hanging off of it, and I had to, loosen my boot because my foot was so swollen. So they finally get to me, and they're like, "So what are you here for, Ranger?" And I'm like, "I got ran over by a truck." And they're like, "Oh, just get up here and lay down."
After burning in at a 400-foot jump, yeah.
Yeah. So I lay down on the stretcher, and they literally cut everything off of me, like my bulletproof vest, because I had that on. That they took all my uniform. They literally cut me down. And I was literally naked. And fortunately for me, I had my ID card and my dog tags taped together on my chest. And on my ID card, I had folded up a $20 bill really small, and I taped it down with to the ID card with Scotch tape.
What was that for?
Because sometimes you need money.
That's fair.
And the whole time, like, "Hey, that's mine. That's mine." They're like, "Oh, you get it back. Don't worry about it, Ranger. Don't worry." And they're just throwing it in a pile. So I lost all my knives, my LBE, my bulletproof vest, all of the cool shit that I fucking spent my own money on, gone.
Wow.
And then they take me out to the airfield, and there's like 6 of us on these stretchers. And we are all naked, like nothing. Naked. And I think Time magazine was taking pictures, and we're like, "Hey," and we're turning over so they can only see our asses. And we sat out there and baked in the sun for another couple hours. And they finally come get us, and they load us into the C-141. And since I was low priority, I was loaded 3 tiers up and towards the back of the aircraft, right next to the side of the aircraft. And I had no fucking blanket, and it's freezing as fuck. There's frost on the side of the aircraft because there's 1/8 of a millimeter of aluminum between me and oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm laying up there, and I'm telling the nurse, "Can I get a blanket?" And they're just ignoring me. And I'm like, "I need a fucking blanket." So I see this guy, and he was on the base floor, a little closer, to the center of the aircraft, and he was pretty fucked up. And I knew if I took his blanket, they would give him another one. So I literally come crawling down like a spider, and I make eye contact with this guy, and I grab his blanket, poof, and I take it, and I scurry back up to my cot. I can hear him like, "You fucking took my blanket, man. I need that fucking blanket." And before you know it, this nurse comes up and just gives him another one. And that's how I survived transport.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. You knew he was going to get another blanket.
Yeah. I had no clothes, laying next to frost on the skin of the aircraft, with my Peg D hanging out for the whole world to see, freezing. I needed a blanket. So I took the guy's blanket. Now, was it one of my shining moments in my life? No. But given the circumstances, I would probably do the exact same thing today. And there was a whole bunch of guys on that aircraft that were fucked up 3 ways to Sunday. We had 82nd guys on there. I think there was some 7th ID guys on there. I don't know how they all got there. I guess they got transported from areas around.
7th Lid. Yeah, they decommissioned in 92 when I got to DLI. The Fort Ord had been bracked, and while we were on casual, we spent a lot of time there cleaning out the base. moving shit out. But we use that mount site all the fucking time. That's a really cool mount site.
Oh yeah.
It's called Impossible City.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one where I had been out of basic training for 4 days, and our platoon sergeant comes and gets a bunch of us and takes us out there with and hands us gear and says, "Here, gear up," and you know the drill. And Miles gear and all that. And we're like, "Oh, we get to play Army for real! Hey!"
Yay!
4 days out of basic training, they stick us in a bunch of buildings. Dusk hits. We hear helicopters. All of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. My buddy Jake gets shot in the back of the head with a freaking sim round or something. I turn around, I catch one in the chest, and there's a guy at the door who goes, and it was like 7th Lid or 2-5 Light out of Hawaii.
Yeah.
And some Rangers getting ready to go somewhere, and they just needed to do I don't know, your little build-up exercises, whatever you guys did. I was a private right out of the Army. All I know is I was standing in a building with a gun going, I'm going to guard the thing.
Yeah, I need that. Also, I gotta let everyone know I did hit the mailbox. I got all your stuff. Heidi, thank you for the Christmas tree. I really appreciate it. So we're good to go in that regard. All right, so we land in Texas, and they carry me out to an ambulance, and I get taken into the hospital.
Nice.
Now I haven't slept. Now we're going on 2.5 days, maybe a little longer with no sleep. So it's starting to hit me now, you know. And they triage me. I got a bunch of CAT scans and X-rays, and apparently I'd been hit by the truck and had knocked my my right hip out of socket, and then it went back into the socket when I landed in the ditch.
But not right.
Yeah, it's never been the same. Mm-hmm. But there was really nothing other than, you know, fucked up knee and ankle, no broken bones. Maybe I had a concussion, obviously, but they really weren't tracking that. So they were trying to get me out of there as fast as they could, which is cool. Now, about 4 or 5 beds away from me was the Navy SEAL who survived being fucked up on that runway I covered in the beginning of the show. And what happened to him is he literally got in the prone behind his rucksack and was returning fire. And one of the bullets hit the concrete in front of him, the runway, hit the rucksack, and then went right down. It missed his body except for his bubble ass, because SEALs do a bunch of squatting.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his ass cheeks was canoed open.
Oh.
Just this huge, gaping fucking wound, and they stuffed it with a bunch of fucking... And I remember I got myself some crutches, and I was wearing one of those fucking hospital gowns with my ass hanging out. And I had that $20 on that ID card. So I'm going down to the PX. I'm going to get some shit. So I'm like, have the crutches and I'm moving all slow and shit. And I look over and a bunch of cotton's hanging out of the SEAL's ass. I'm like, hey man, you got some cotton hanging out your ass. And he kind of looks up. He starts stuffing it back in the hole. And he's like, don't ever take an ass wound. And I'm like, point taken. Hey, I'm going down the PX. You want anything? Yeah, bring me a candy bar and a Coke. Got it. So I go down there, bought a bunch of Cokes, candy bars. I got myself a Savage sort of Conan, magazine, and then a bunch of people who were down there like, you're one of those Rangers? Jumped into Panama Fog. And they just gave me a bunch of free shit.
Nice.
So I come back up with like 2 bags of stuff. I could barely carry it, Stop at the SEAL. I'm like, here's your Coke. Here's a Snickers bar. And I'm like, you want anything else? Got any bubble gum? Yeah, here's some Hubba Bubba.
Nice.
I literally started handing out shit to like all the people around me.
There you go.
Yeah, and then
Papa Claus.
Yeah, and then I had my sugar fix, laid down to get some sleep. And when I woke up, that's when I had the Purple Heart on my pillow. And then they got me up to take that picture with the general that I showed you guys earlier. But the Navy SEALs' parents showed up to see him that day, like maybe 3 or 4 hours later. and they bought me clothes because I got them a
Oh.
Coke and a candy bar.
Nice.
Yeah, so they bought me sweatpants and a sweatshirt top,
Okay.
and I was in and out of that hospital like that evening. So we're talking, we jumped in on the 20th. This all took place on the 21st. The night of the 21st, I was on a plane flying back to Fort Lewis. And I land at Seattle SeaTac. And I'm literally got off the bird, and there was a wheelchair waiting on me. And it was all second back guys that were rear D.
Yeah.
Just scooped my ass up, rolled me out of the airport. I was in a van with some other guys that got fucked up. Went back to the barracks. I was there for maybe 2 hours, and they'd already processed my DA-31 leave. And they never, and it was medical leave. It wasn't even regular leave, so it didn't count. And there was a local company that donated some Bentley limos. So I literally, yeah.
You gay hooker.
I know. What are you going to do?
Oh my God.
So I literally landed in Seattle airport, drove me back to the barracks. I was there for like 2 or 3 hours. And then I was literally going back to the airport because they'd already got my Sato ticket. They had taken care of everything. And I was home by the night of the 23rd of December. So that I literally got to come home for Christmas. And I was on the news and everything.
That's almost unheard of.
Well, I mean, it's special operations. They don't fuck around.
Yeah.
This isn't like, I'm sure in the 82nd it wasn't like that.
We had fucking debriefs, dude. You got back and they didn't give a fuck. You had 72 hours of debriefs.
No, there's none of that for me. I mean, I'm an E4.
You were just on the ground. You were just on the ground doing shooty shit.
Yeah.
We're in there doing all the intel. They want all of that intel right the fuck now. You're not going anywhere for 72 hours.
Yeah. But I mean, I was just a crunchy bit at the end of a parachute that probably wasn't even open all the way when I hit the ground. And I tell that story to other guys, got ran over by a truck. They get the fuck out of here. I'm like, no.
That's funny.
No, I really.
Hey, Flip the Bunny's calling bullshit on you. He says SEALs are a gay Navy. Pop didn't get sweats. He just doesn't want to tell us it was a sailor boy outfit.
But that's how it went down, man. It was crazy. I'm just trying to think. There's probably a dozen other small stories in there that. The little birds.
Right. Oh yeah,
the little birds are amazing. Because once we had seized the airfield, they landed a C-141. The ramp came down, and they just rolled these little birds off the ramp. And as they were rolling away, they literally put the tail in there, put a pin in there. You
pop their little rotors out.
Pilots putting on their gloves, and literally, they're on. They rolled it out the back of the aircraft. Within 5 minutes, they were in the air.
Yeah, those guys are impressive.
They're really had, and
you can fit 3 or 4 of those in a 141 too.
Yeah, and plus all the ammo. They literally land, and people would come up and just put new
all
pods
the crews, on. Everything. Yeah. They sound like angry lawnmowers.
I think they're loaches, is what they're called.
Yeah,
the civilian name for it.
It's a loach.
But those man, they'd fly over, and they were
rear it.
Yeah, we were attacking these. They were attacking this barracks. I personally wasn't doing it, but I mean, I saw the whole thing. And they'd come over, and this laser beam, and then you'd see brass would just rain. So you're getting hit with brass. Fucking hey, man. One guy had to go down his shirt. Said, God, it's down my shirt.
I had that happen once.
But those little birds are fucking amazing. That's another one. That's a weird story. And then
they're crazy maneuverable too. You're like, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah, Stuck. He was. We have a guy named Stuck who was with me in Panama. I didn't know him at the time. He was with a different company, but he was on one of those blocking positions, and they smoked up some of the QRF that was coming to reinforce the airfield. And oh wow, there was like they had like 3 or 4 M60 machine guns, and those light skinned vehicles were no help at all.
No.
Because he told me stories when the sun came up, there was just bodies everywhere, just torn to shit by those M60 machine guns.
Yeah, and it looks like some really angry, malevolent child went to work on the vehicle with a can opener.
Yes. And you know what? If we wind up having to invade Venezuela, it's going to be very similar.
Yeah,
it really is, because the pineapple face guy, Noriega, he had a small circle of hardcore supporters around him, and they controlled that entire country by threat of violence and force. But once we showed up, like 90% of everyone just said, fuck that guy, and they turned on him. That's why it only lasted like 4 days.
Those dictator types, always their core guys, there's always a group of them that go, hey, fuck that, I'm out. and they turn on him.
But this is like this is 1989 army, 1990 army. This is not like the current army of today with all the whiz-bang gadgets and toys.
That's true.
And we still, like, literally cast them aside like a 9-year-old child.
Yeah.
We beat, and we trained them and equipped them, and we still beat them down.
Right.
Like,
yeah, and Venezuela
right
has nowhere near that. We've got a couple of requests for me to say something like Bolshevik.
Bolsheviks. Drink.
Let's just get that out of the way. If we go into, I don't want to go into Venezuela. I think it's stupid. I don't think we're going to do a land invasion. I hope we're not going to do a land invasion. But yeah, it's going to be panimistic if we do. It won't.
We could easily just bomb him with a missile and get his inner circle of idiots and just wipe them out.
With the tech we have today, we could just drone a couple of things. They had video today of the Venezuelan army handing out AK-47s to the population. And everybody's like, oh, they're all going to be armed. I'm like, okay, this is called propaganda, and it's meant for you. Because there's no way a dictator government gives everybody in the fucking city a weapon that works, let alone gives them ammo. It's propaganda. They're handing it out on TV to show you, to make the Americans go, oh, what do we do now? This is terrible. Look, they all have guns.
Hang on a minute. I think we got another life saved here.
Whoa.
It's a super chat from Metal J.
Metal J. Yeah.
You help me with self-deleting. I have a hard time talking about it, but I need to get off my chest. You guys make me laugh when times were at my darkest.
We're right here, brother.
Listen, I can't give you a number. You have to send us an email, redonkulas12@gmail.com. Tell us your story.
Yep.
And if you say, just don't use my name, we will not use your name. But here's the thing. I mean, we're getting to a point now where the numbers are becoming noticeable, where people will call bullshit on us. Mm-hmm. So I changed the criteria towards the end of 2023. And I remember December of 2022, we literally got, 5 dudes in a month.
Yeah.
And we got 75 now. So we're right around 82 in 2 years.
I'm about to, tomorrow morning, actually film a short 10 to 12 minute thing where I'm going to cover a lot of our journey to this point. And it's called I Have a Few Things to Say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's based off of all of these conversations that we've had and how we got to this point. I sent you the full workup on that.
Yeah, and listen, one of my few joys left in life is when I get to put numbers on that board.
Yeah.
Mainly because in Iraq, because we were mortared every day, and I spent so much time on the road exposed to all that crazy shit, you have to play a game in your mind. It's a mental gymnastics game. And samurais were really good at it. You have to convince yourself that you're already dead. And everything that takes place is just a technicality. And I have not been able to turn that off. So this is one of my few joys left in life. So yes.
Yep.
Sergeant First Class Howell. The situation during Just Cause here in Rangers. Yep. The 82nd did some stupid shit.
That's what they do. They're a blunt instrument. They're
God bless
absolutely a fucking blunt instrument. If I wear this mask, you're fucked 4095, says Musashi. I'm not certain that that quote was Musashi. I've extensively read his work.
Yeah.
Book of Five Rings and actually the novel Musashi, which is based on his life, which is actually a fairly accurate account. I'm not sure that's from him. I believe it was part of the Bushido Code that Popp is talking about. But one of my favorite Musashi quotes of all times remains, "Better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war."
Yep. You're absolutely correct. Let me figure this out here. Hang on. I'm just going through the super chats here. Mario Trujillo, Merry Christmas, Crayon Eaters, $2.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, man.
Pete forgot. Yeah, Pete, I'll get with you. Yeah, the knife he bought me was a British Blackmore Dirk.
Oh.
Yeah, I have like 6 of them now.
I know what that is. Those are pretty.
The Plains Warrior Squirrel Bladder. Look, man,
Yeah.
I've had 2 surgeries on my fucking prostate.
Uh-huh.
So when I have to piss,
Uh-huh.
I have to.
You're gonna cry some more?
There's no holding. Yes, I'll cry some more.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm old, man.
Uh-huh.
I'm the old guy now.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. All right. Let's see.
I wish I knew where all the videos are. There's all kinds of videos that we could use during this, but I just don't know where any of them are. I need to.
I know. This is technically going to, I do Sundays as a supporter stream. People pay $5 a month, and I do like 2 or 3 of them a month. We have a movie night. And a lot of guys who are in the supporter staff, that's what I call them now, contribute good ideas for future videos. Because there's lots of times I'll like, hey, man, this is what I'm thinking. And people send in their ideas. I make lists. I convert it over to a whiteboard video. It's fucking hilarious.
This past Thursday, somebody had a good idea. Well, it became a good idea. We want to find a way to do a choose your own adventure box wine in Catland.
Yeah. That's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, we definitely need to find a way to do that. We need to find a way to hook up this weekend sometime, or this over the Christmas week sometime.
Well, I'm going to be after Tuesday. I'm going to go up north for a few days, so I'm probably not going to stream on Thursday. So we'll take that off.
All right.
Yeah.
Wednesday is Christmas Eve, and Thursday is Christmas Day.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to just eat lobster tails and steak.
Okay.
And then drink more.
Lobster tail and steak. That is an old Army tradition.
Yeah. And that's another thing is we didn't get no lobster tail and steak before we went into Panama. We didn't get jack shit. I ate MREs. I don't remember getting food.
We didn't get anything special before deployment. We were Snap-on parts. They would just call 10, 12 of us and say, hey, you're going out with these guys.
And I remember bringing up to the chain of command. I'm like, we need to get some chaplains in here to give us the actual communion. And they didn't even do that. They just start praying over it. I'm like, anyone can pray over somebody. We'll fuck off.
Yeah, go forth and do not die.
Like, go eat some shit. I just have never liked chaplains because they're officers and they're kind of weak. Ugly. Oh, here's another side story.
Wow.
While we were getting on the bird,
right,
there was officers trying to throw us off of it so they could take our place, so they could get the jump star. And Greenway, Sergeant Greenway, because that happened while he was when he jumped into Grenada,
Mhm.
like they're literally like, like you're not going on this jump. There's like some captain, and Sergeant Green was like, "Can I help you, sir?" Like, yeah, he doesn't need to jump, and you would be. I'm a captain, and you can go fuck yourself. This is my bird. These are my men. We're jumping in. Go fuck off. And they fucked off.
I'm a captain.
Yeah, fuck you.
Get the fuck out of here. Captain is nobody. There's another misconception for you. Everybody think, oh, he's a captain. That doesn't mean a fucking thing, dude. You're a fucking mid-level manager. You're a low-end mid-level manager as a captain.
Yes.
That's all you are.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
You're nobody. I will fucking do anything a warrant, a WO1 says before I will do anything a captain says.
Yeah, because it's on my list here. I almost got bumped off that jump because of that captain.
Yeah. Dreadnoks throws us $50 fucking and says, come on, man. 82nd was fun in the 90s.
Listen, I jumped with the 82nd. I was a pay hurt.
Yeah.
And I was still in the regiment. And they did everything in their power to kill me.
Hang on. Dreadnoks has earned himself one of those.
Thanks for your continued support.
We'll get that in there. USMCD's Nuts throws us a 20 and says, Merry Christmas. Love the military stories. Merry Christmas, Jarhead.
I've discovered I covered the dead body drag off. Stripped down to naked, left on the draw. Stole a blanket, covered that. Hospital in Texas, Navy SEAL with an ass wound, covered that. I wish I got his name.
Kuro Ninja throws a 5 at us and says, could Venezuela be like another Vietnam? No. It's not the same thing at all. It's not the same people. It's not the same mentality. It's not the same era. It's not the same politics, even remotely. It's Venezuela's nothing at all like Vietnam.
Yeah.
Like people and culture wise, completely different.
Yeah, I didn't actually go back to the battalion until like January 15th.
Wow.
And I scored so much pussy, man. It was insane. I went crazy.
We just went from the next Vietnam to Popp gets Punani.
I was literally like, I was such an asshole in my youth, man. Yeah. I was ill-tempered. But yeah, I fucking scored crazy amounts of poontang.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's the whole Panama thing. And everyone's got their own story, I guess. But that is my individual personal hell. And I thought it would be like life's great adventure, and it was fucking nightmare. And after that, I loathed jumping. Hated it with a passion. And I got sent to jump master school twice. And both times I got bounced out because they fucked up my records. I mean, I would have done it, no problem, if everything was squared away. But I was not like one of those guys, send me to jump master school. I was like, yeah. If they send me, they send me. Yeah. Because I know what is at the end of the line when you do it for real. And it's a bunch of shit and piss and vomit, terror. It fucking sucked. I could just imagine those guys during World War II who are getting hit with flak and all of that horse shit that was going on.
Or the guys on the landing boats.
Yeah. I mean, if I lived during World War II, I'm just telling you right now, I would have one of two jobs: paratrooper or fighter pilot. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all. I mean, fuck that. Getting on a boat, and then getting off a boat, walking across a giant open area while you're up to your waist in water. What could go wrong?
With a cliff overlooking the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fuck that noise.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that whole goddamn fucking Panama thing. And here's the thing. Okay. If we actually have to put boots on the ground in Venezuela, people are going to get smoked. They're going to have to use a lot of Tomahawk missiles. There'll be some naval gunfire. There'll be fast movers. They're going to break down a whole bunch of shit. But if you have to fight in the cities, there's no getting around that. It's just going to be a bloodbath, man.
There's only two ways to do that: extreme heavy casualties on your part for going into a city, or leveling the city and eating the casualties of whatever old people, women, and children are in there. Either way, your soul is in a precarious state.
Yeah. I mean, I remember in Iraq, the first Fallujah. Now, I personally did not partake in that. I'm just going to be honest. But I did roll out there to drop water and food off, ammo, and bring back wounded individuals. Yeah. And the sick, lame, and lazy. Bring them back to the hospital. And no, thank you. No fucking thank you. That is a no It, in the modern times, I believe the only way you could really subdue a city is to just put it under siege, cut off its food and water.
Yeah. Or just smoke it. And then
Or-
you
yeah.
got to live with smoking it.
Yeah, you got to bring it down to talcum powder.
Yeah.
I
It's a
mean,
fucking tough one.
that's what Israel's doing in the Gaza. I mean, that place is leveled. It is what it is.
I have varying opinions on that I will not share this evening.
Yes, I got you. But, what are you going to do? Let me just look here. Look at some of these comments. Yeah. Could Venezuela hopefully will not be another Vietnam. Now, I just watched
Hopefully not.
special, in regards to the failed, overthrow of Venezuela that some old Green Beret, not old, but former Green Beret tried to set up.
Your mic is fucking around.
My mic?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. I was watching a special, I think it was on either Amazon or Netflix, about the Green Beret who set up the overthrow of Venezuela.
Oh, yeah. That ended poorly for him.
Well, first of all, they already knew what was going on, so it's not like it was a surprise.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly believe that they threw support behind him and then pulled that out at the last minute, just like the Bay of Pigs.
Yeah, I would buy that. I would absolutely buy that.
Yeah, no fucking invading Venezuela. You are correct. Yeah. Ooh, some of you guys are pretty upset.
Somebody says invade Canada. I said, what for? Tim Hortons?
I want their beer, but I'm not going to kill anybody over it.
No.
Yeah. Pop's got a monsieur on the wall behind him. Actually, now if you noticed,
your sword collection is not as well displayed as normal. What's going on there?
well, it's the same. It's the same. Now you notice, like, this is like the sword room, and there is no "I love me" wall in my lair at all. I don't do that.
Yeah.
All my "I love me" awards are in a box in the back, and I literally had to go dig out the Purple Heart thing to show you guys. And so the names I'm talking about here that I'm dropping during the story, you can find them on my NCOERs that have been sterilized to social security numbers on redonkulas.com. Let's see. I sell cat litter for 20. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Thank you very much. Is that a duplicate? Could be. All right.
Craig's Messer. I sell cat litter sends us to 20 and says, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Thank you very much.
You filthy animals. Thank you very much, man.
Appreciate you.
Listen, we are operating on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this, opening up this supporter stream to the public because I'd rather have you guys listen to me ramble on about being that old guy back in the day than, suck starting a shotgun or drinking yourself to death or doing some stupid bullshit like that. Just don't do it.
We got your back, man. If you need to talk, we're here.
Actually, I called a couple guys today, actually. Yep. It is what it is.
It was a quiet weekend for me. Normally, I hear from at least a couple of you guys, and I got 1 or 2 emails this weekend, which is below par. But it's just a quiet weekend. That's fine.
That's cool. Nothing crazy. We lost the BitChute signal. So
What happened?
we were streaming to BitChute and it fucked up. Not a big deal. We only get about 20 guys watch on there anyway. If we ever drop off the radar, we will be on our alternate platforms as well.
Yeah.
This
Professor Blake Pooh Ass Blaster 3000 says, Pop, question, when are you going to change out your toupee and dwarf? I have an answer for your baldness. Get yourself a chia pet and let plant grow, and bam, you got yourself a wig. I have grown accustomed to my baldness. I can vouch for the fact that Pop does not have a toupee.
No.
There is no homosexual connotations there. I just laugh at him about the fact that he dyes his hair like a little girl all the time.
I dye it every 2 to 3 weeks. In fact, I just dyed it a few days ago. Listen, I got my hair cut and my hair is fucking white.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
It is bad. It started going white as soon as I got back from Iraq, man.
I just shaved my head because fuck it. I literally, the reason that I shave my head is because I just don't care. It's in my way. I don't want to deal with it.
Let's see. We got one from MGTOW Mando for $1, or sailing a 45 ACP through your neighbor's kitchen wall. Yeah. You don't want that. I'm actually thinking of getting another pistol shooty thing.
Hey, what do you think you're getting?
A Rock Island 2011 full size in 9mm. Because you can get 9mm pretty cheap, so you can train up on it. Not that I'm going to do anything stupid or anything, but it's nice to maintain the skills that I once had. So, what days are Hanukkah this year? Are we in the Hanukkah window now, or is it over?
I don't pay any attention to any of that.
Well, anyway, if we have any Hanukkah celebrators out there, happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Happy winter solstice to you.
Today is the solstice. I actually bottled 5 gallons of the black mead, and I made another 5 gallons of mead with ale yeast, which gives the mead a slightly fruitier flavor. It's nice. I like it.
The black mead.
You would like the ale brewed mead. You'll like the ale yeast mead. You like your fruity drinks. This is not as dry as the normal mead. It has a slightly citrusy taste to it. You'll like it.
Yep. All right. Let's see, Pop can have my 226. I love a 226. I'm not going to turn one away. Let's see. MGTOW Mando, my neighbor, tried self-deleting last Saturday. The round went through went about 4 inches over my shoulder when I was scratching my cat's head.
What the fuck?
Holy shit!
Holy ass balls! Like,
is he alive? Have him watch my videos. God damn it! We got Metal J says, hard for me to write down, but I will do it my best. I'm just happy now. I have a woman I can trust, but I will do my best to let you know my story. It doesn't have to be a long story. It can be like 3 to 6 sentences long.
Yep.
As long as it says we kept the gun out of your mouth, that's fine.
all we need, man.
You don't have to elaborate nothing. It's just the way it is.
It's like in The Princess Bride when Count Rogan is torturing the man in the black mask, and he says, "Now be honest, this is for posterity." That's it. That's all.
Yes. That's pretty funny.
Do be honest. This is for posterity.
All right, gentlemen. I think we're gonna call it an evening here.
All right.
I've ran my mouth long enough, and you guys have a happy holidays. And hopefully you'll see me before New Year's Eve. And we'll put something together.
We I believe we're gonna do one on Tuesday, like a something, right?
Yeah, we're this Tuesday we're doing a show. It's an impromptu. We're gonna have a bunch of individuals and other creators on, and people who support the channel and stuff.
Okay.
Coming on, and
I didn't know we were having other people on. That'll be great.
Yeah. We'll tell army stories, smoking joke, and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
Again,
that'll work.
there's a lot of guys out there who are hurting for certain. And, you know, the regiment is here to support you the best we can. It is what it is. In fact, we had a guy who sent us a GoFundMe a while back, and
Oh.
nobody sent any money to his GoFundMe.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
It just fell through the cracks.
That's a ball drop.
But the thing is, you know, it was a pretty serious situation. So I sent him some money,
Okay.
and then I put it on Twitter, and we got him some more.
Okay, cool.
It's not. He was asking for 3Gs. He's 100% disabled, and he's movement hindered. And
Fuck.
I think it's a ramp or some kind of runway structure he needs constructed is
Oh, yeah.
failing. But yeah, I typically will do what I can to help other veterans out, especially if they watch the show. Like Wounded Warrior, this is just my personal opinion. They have shit the bed and wipe their ass with their sheets, floss their ass with their sheets on their way out the door. Because on the board of directors, they have generals and shit now. And you and I know how generals are.
Yeah.
And they're just politic backstabbing machines.
Yeah.
So it's my opinion, Wounded Warrior has been compromised.
I agree. Look, I did a bunch of research into this, and it's one of the things I said when I wrote our grants. We're the only organization, this is the only veterans organization out there that actually tries to keep track of the number of guys. We don't keep track of everybody. We try, but we can't. It's hard. But we try to keep track of as many of you fuckers as we can. And we're the only one that we know of that actively, continuously engages with you guys. I don't know of any other organization out there. If you know of one, please tell me. I want to know these things. We're the only organization that continues to interact with you guys because we know that this is an ongoing process. This isn't just here's a Band-Aid and a cookie. You'll be fine. That's not how this fucking works.
No. Look, if I had the money, you know, I would.
Yeah. Oh, God. If we hit like a Powerball win or something like that, it'd be fucking game on. It'd absolutely be fucking game on. Stop staring at another screen, Pop. Pay attention.
I'm trying to find that GoFundMe link.
Okay.
So you got to bear with me. Fuck me into goat ass. They all just bleed together, man. I'm sorry.
It's hard. I've been trying to keep better track. I've been doing some email organizing. I'm yawning for no reason at all because I got plenty of sleep. I got a fucking full 6 hours last night, which is a lot for me.
Well, I get like maybe 4.
Yeah, you and I are the same on that. We just don't get a lot of sleep.
Oh, here it is.
Got it.
Hang on. Let me dig this out. There it is. Give, send, go. Let me dig it out here. Copy. Let's get it out there to the masses. There we go. That's a give, send, go link. Putting it out there for you guys. Let's put it on MGTOW TV.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. All right. So you guys, you know, take care of them if you can. Merry Christmas from Japan, you crazy futher muckers. You got guys watching all the way out in Japan? That's awesome.
Wow, nice.
Fuck yeah. All right. I think we're going to call it a night here. We're just rambling on now.
We are. That's all right.
All right. I'm going to pull the plug on this. You guys take it easy. And
you want me to hit the button or shall you? I got it.
You do it. All right.
I got it. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Fuck off.